Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Welcome back, guys, to another episode or another game of Peanut Casts, where we bring you Game 2 between the Wild West Wombats and the Down South Kangaroos. Again, no switch up on the side selection. So we see Goofer Games on the Renekton in the top lane, Jeezy on that Shaco jungle, Owlblue on the Vigar mid, Patch 5E and Bait Lovers on the Kai'Sa and Soraka. Garen in the top lane, Xiaoso. Maybe it's just Xias. Eflesanor on the Vine, Nick Swagger on that Morgana mid, and then Johnny and Allosaurus Wreck on the Caitlyn and Nautilus bot lane duo. And now we actually see, so Nautilus getting his buffs has been taken mid, but we actually see him down on the bottom side of the map, and they take away the Morgana. Morgana, a great pick into Nautilus on the opposing side to try and just to negate some of the CC that he has in the dredge line, in the ultimate, the depth charge, all that good stuff. But instead we see Morgana mid for the side of the Down South Kangaroos, Soraka, Kai'Sa bot lane for the Wild West Wombats. Both of these junglers starting on the bottom side of the map, and Shaco not actually needing a leash, which should put the lead into Kai'Sa's hands, or into the Wild West Wombat bot lane. Kai'Sa stepping up, putting a ward in that bush just to make sure they can't do anything fishy. Now we see the dredge line coming out. Caitlyn dropping an auto attack. Caitlyn actually running lethal tempo here. We'll have to track that and see how well that does for her in that lane, whereas Kai'Sa has that press attack. Now Vi looking for an early gank on the bottom side of this map. She does not have red buff, but she is behind the enemy team. A good flash coming out from Kai'Sa here. Now the ignite down onto that Nami. Heal from the Kai'Sa, or heal from the Soraka, sorry, to keep herself safe. And the Void Seeker coming out and picking up Vi on her way out. First blood going over to the Kai'Sa. So Kai'Sa running teleport down in this bottom lane. Maybe thinking she's going to lose lane. We actually see some fighting going down, and Nautilus able to pick that one up. The Event Horizon keeping Morgana in place here in the mid lane, having to flash away to keep herself alive. Now Renekton getting feisty here. He takes one turret shot. Cole the Meek was not empowered, so it did not give him any health back. And now on the bottom side of the map, just very scrappy early on in this game. As I was saying, Kai'Sa actually has the teleport to get herself back into lane, probably assuming she would lose lane against this Caitlyn. And we see the flash Q, the flash decisive strike from the Garen in the top lane, picking up a kill onto Renekton. Now flashless is that Garen, and Shaco makes his way up top. He does still have the ignite. The silence coming down on the Shaco. Shaco just standing in place. Judgment coming out. The spin to win. A couple auto attacks will do it. Shaco does go down. But the stun and the Cold the Meek from the Renekton able to trade that kill back. So now Garen 2-1-0. And that is a scary Garen here. The trap coming out. Soraka standing dangerously close with the 90 caliber net. Finding Soraka as well as the headshot. And now Garen actually teleports back down onto a Shaco box here, the Jack in the Box, which now has a visible range that you can see around the Jack in the Box for the activation range, which is one of the changes made to Shaco's W in this most recent 9.9 patch. Damage being traded back and forth. Vigar getting the better of this mid lane thus far, up 3 CS, actually now only up 2 CS. We see some fighting down again in the top lane. Just a little bit of poke going back and forth between the Renekton and the Garen. Renekton able to stay even in CS, but down 1 kill. And now Kai'Sa again taking teleport, probably thinking that she's going to lose this lane into Caitlyn, who is a very strong early game champion, who also, not to take away from her late game, can turn on after 2 or 3 items. But Soraka actually taking the heal on this bottom side, so she will have 3 heals. And now Caitlyn is going to be silenced. Shaco makes his way into this lane. Caitlyn uses the heal to get away and the flash. Both summoners now down. Void Seeker coming out, and Vi is here with the Vault Breaker, but she uses it just to create some distance and get away there. Soraka coming in trying to defend the pink ward, not able to do it. Renekton now getting dangerously low there. The judgment was on. Renekton forced to walk away from this one. He is going to have to recall. But the wave's in a pretty good spot for him to go ahead and get back to base. He might not miss too much here, depending on how Garen shoves this wave out. And now Vi making her way back down to the bottom side of the map here. Comes in behind, looking for something onto the Soraka. She gets the Vault Breaker. The denting blows are on. A lot of damage now after the dredge line. The Ignite is now onto that Kai'Sa, trying to trade a kill back on that Vi. Not able to do so. The Acathian Rain coming out. A lot of damage actually coming now. Nautilus has to be careful here. He flashes forward, doesn't find the damage with the tidal waves, but Vi trades another kill there. 2 kills going over to that Vi in the bottom lane. A 2-for-1 overall. Caitlyn just walks away from that one, farming up under turret. Vi and Nautilus going toe-to-toe against that Kai'Sa. And they managed to get that kill, but Kai'Sa will just teleport back, and she has that BF sword. So a lot of attack damage on this Kai'Sa right now. She has a 10 CS lead on the Caitlyn, as well as the 2 kills. Caitlyn has to be careful in this bottom lane, but she's been doing a great job thus far, just waiting for that jungler to come down and make plays. And Garen going in again. He has a level advantage on this Renekton. Renekton with the Ruthless Predator tries to get the stun. Doesn't find it, but on a minion, the Demacia Injustice comes out. Now Renekton uses the Dominus under turret and gets the kill alongside the turret. A 2v1. Garen was outmatched by that Gator and that turret. The Dominus at a perfect time to bait out that Garen underneath the turret. Renekton trades a kill back. Now 2-1-0 in that top lane. And he may just get a couple plates for himself as well, because Garen's teleport is on cooldown. But if we take a look here at the bottom side of the map, Vi actually started up that Cloud Drake. Going to be a fantastic Drake for them to have. Nautilus just able to run somebody down, hit him with the dredge line. Vi now with the movement speed and being able to get around the map. And then Morgana, again, really values from that Cloud Drake because of her ultimate. She uses that Soul Shackles, and she's able to close the gap and make sure nobody's getting out of range without having to blow a summoner spell. Now we see some damage coming down onto Soraka. She is sitting right around half HP. And Veigar now in some trouble. Vi uses the ultimate to come forward. The smite comes out, and one more auto attack will do it. Vi is on a killing spree. Shaco looking for something, but Morgana trying to protect that Vi. And now Kai'Sa having to flash away out of danger there to stay safe on the bottom side of this map. This Nautilus just being a huge nuisance. There's so much CC. He is level 6 now. Has the depth charge. Caitlyn does have ace in the hole as well, so they have to be careful. The Soraka is dangerously low. Void Seeker coming out. Kai'Sa may be looking for blood here. She goes in with the Killer Instinct. Couple of auto attacks coming down. Looking for the damage. One more auto attack should do it. The depth charge coming out from Nautilus now stunned just in a fat, huge minion wave. A fat, huge minion wave. And an auto attack from Caitlyn will finish off that Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa just biting off a little bit more than she can chew there. Caitlyn picking up a kill for herself. And now the down south Kangaroos with a 700 gold lead. And a Cloud Drake to top it all off. Which I would like to say that maybe that Cloud Drake was enough for Caitlyn to outrun the Kai'Sa there and get out of danger. But now Vi on the top side of this map. The Conqueror is procced for this Renekton. He is in the middle of 2 here. He might be in trouble. He uses the Slice and Dice to get away. A beautiful Slice and Dice. The Vault Breaker not going to find its target. Renekton does still have his ultimate here, but now the Dredge line coming out onto Soraka underneath the turret. She has to use the ultimate. The Ignite is ticking. Will it be enough? It will not. And now Renekton steps up again. The Vault Breaker. Vi does have the ultimate underneath the turret, taking a few turret shots. Morgana and Shaco make their way up here as well. It's now a 3v1 in that top lane. Renekton goes down, and a kill going over to that Garen. Shaco just not able to make it in time to keep that top laner alive. The ultimate was not enough, but now Shaco looking for some damage here. Garen able to get himself a turret plate. Shaco going in onto the Garen and not going to find anything again. Vi actually in the jungle might be in a bad spot. Shaco does not have the Ignite, so loses a lot of kill pressure there and has to save that Deceive to get away, or else Vi should be able to run him down. And with this Cloud Drake, Vi is making the most of it, just able to move all around this map, up in the top lane, up in the or down to the mid lane, head back to base. We'll see where she goes after that. But that gold lead is now a 1,300 gold lead. It grew from 400 gold to 1,300 gold in just a matter of moments. Vigar going in on this Morgana, although he has one death here, he's up in CS, and he's able to mitigate really anything that Morgana can do right now. She's 0-0 and 0. And as a mid laner, I wouldn't necessarily say, you know, tier 1. She really only has 2 abilities. A lot of this Morgana is going to be the utility. The binding, the stun from her ultimate, and the black shield on a priority target to negate some of that damage, especially some of that Vigar damage. But outside of that, the Tormented Shadows not going to do very much damage. It is going to be used to push the wave up. But now we see Vi on the bottom side of the map. Ace in the hole onto that Kai'Sa. Shaco forced to flash away. Killer Instinct coming out to try and keep Kai'Sa safe for just a bit longer, but it's not going to be enough. Now Vi ultimate under turret here onto the Soraka. Caitlyn picks one up for herself as well. 4-1 and 2 on that Vi. And Caitlyn gets another kill under her belt. Now the dredge line coming out. Soraka just stepping up too far under turret. It doesn't matter. And now not only do they get 3 kills on the bottom side of that map, 2 kills go over to Caitlyn, and they're murdering this turret here. They're going to get a bunch of plates and just grow that gold lead that we've already seen start to build. And that definitely doesn't help the Wild West Wombats cause. Now 4th plate going down on the bottom side of this map. Dragon up in just under 20 seconds. Go ahead and take a look. It is going to be a Mountain Drake. Just going to be a good Drake for really anybody to have. 1 plate left on that bottom lane turret. Mountain Drake will definitely help them take that. Both of these teams also have a fairly decent Baron take. Now we see Vi starting up. Just the vision control on the bottom side of this map. If we even take a look at the map in general, there are 2 wards for the Wild West Wombat outside of that bottom lane. There's 1 down on the bottom lane. There's 1 on the top side mid, and then 1 in the top side river. But now Vi gets caught out. Nautilus is here. Morgana with the Soul Shackles onto 2. The kill going over on the Soraka. Vigar comes in with the Event Horizon. He does manage to hit the stun. Hits the stun onto Vi as well. She walks into the Event Horizon. The ultimate will be enough to pick up the kill onto that Vi. Now Vigar in the middle of 2. Mountain Drake going over to that Shaco, trying to turn this fight around here. A lot of damage coming out the Event Horizon, but the black shield keeps Morgana safe. Now Caitlyn looking to do something here with the 90 caliber net. Gets a huge headshot onto that Shaco. Vigar going to chase this down. The heal came out. Caitlyn able to run away from that one with the heal from the movement speed. But all in all, not bad. Shaco went down. Your Soraka went down, but you ended up getting 2 kills for yourself. Or 1 kill for yourself, sorry. The Vi ended up dying, and you picked up the Mountain Drake, which, when you're down, really anything like that, any of those objectives are going to be good. When you're losing and your turrets are being pressured as hard as they are this early in the game, the last thing you need is for the enemy team to pick up that Mountain Drake. So a good pickup by that Shaco. They lose 2, but able to pick up a kill for themselves and the Mountain Drake. And now Renekton actually has a level lead on this Garen on the top side of the map after being oppressed for so long. Now a max range Dreadline going to find Kai'Sa. She's trying to find the damage onto Caitlyn, not going to do it. And that right there is just Nautilus knowing his range. He's staying on the outside, baiting this Kai'Sa in. And as soon as he realizes that she's not walking away from this range, he hits that max range dredge line, gets the pull, and they end up getting another kill on the bottom side of the map and first turret. 5,000 gold just about is the gold lead for the down south Kangaroos. It is going to take a miraculous play to turn this game on its head. Renekton is going to be very detrimental to this team as well. Right now, him and Vigar are the only ones that are staying even in this game. That bot lane and that Vi for the down south Kangaroos are going to be absolutely huge. Now see the dark binding coming out. Hallucinate from the Shaco, but Vi ults onto the wrong target. The deceive to get away. The Jack in the Box does find the fear, and Shaco able to walk out of this one, but 3 members on the top side of the map. Renekton has to be careful. 2v2 in the bot lane. Kai'Sa down on the bottom side of the map, just able to farm it out, trying to get herself back into this game. She already has the farm lead, but she's down 2 kills to that Caitlyn. Shaco still running around in the jungle, trying to find his way out. May have deceive here in just a moment. He's actually going to walk into that turret and go for the execute, and he's able to find the execute on that top side of the map. Just wasting a little bit of time there. Not giving a kill assist or an assist over to anybody. So a pretty solid play. And the Dominus comes out. Renekton trying to get Garen to come on the turret, but he's not going to fall for it. He does still have the Demacian Justice. So Renekton has to be very careful, especially when this ult falls off. Flash forward coming out from Garen. The flash, the silence, the ultimate. It's just going to be too much. Renekton goes down. Now 4-2-0 is that Garen. And he now has just shy of a 20 CS lead. And he is going to be an absolute menace. He's so tanky right now. Shaco 0-4-2. Not able to help at all, unfortunately. On the top side of this map. Just not able to find much whenever he does go up there with the Renekton. Vygar makes his way down to the bottom side of the map. Just trying to farm up. Stack up the ability power on his Q. He is sitting at 118 stacks. So this Vygar, he's going to be scary. And as the game goes on, I do believe that the Wild West Wombats have the scaling. Shaco is going to be scary if he's able to flank and get onto your carries late game after getting a few items. That Duskblade, the Ravenous Hydra. Kai'Sa obviously logging in once she gets that Gwynsu's Rage Blade. And then Renekton just going to be hopefully a huge beefcake. And with the itemization under the Spear of Shojin, really able to keep himself in the game as it goes later. It doesn't have as much fall off as he used to. But now we see Vi making her way into the top lane. She does have the ultimate, but she chooses not to use it there as that turret is still alive. Vygar gets the Event Horizon down on the Morgana. The Spell Shield comes out, and so do the Soul Shackles, but it's not going to be enough. The ultimate will delete that Morgana off of the face of the Rift. And Morgana used a lot there. She was caught out in the middle of 4 members, but now Soraka caught out in the middle of 2. The headshot, the depth charge, the ultimate might not be enough to keep her alive. Here comes Ace in the hole, and that's going to be enough. Now Vi going in on the Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa trying to kite away, but both flashes being used means the kill goes over to that Vi. And now Shaco going to chase that one out. Goofer Games up here getting stunned out. Underneath the turret, Shaco taking a lot of damage from that Caitlyn. And it looks like Renekton getting the better of the trade here. Uses Dominus. And it looks like he wants to dive, and he does. He flashes forward. Uses the Ruthless Predator. And picks up a shutdown kill on that Garen just about under turret. Ocean Drake is alive, though, on the bottom side of this map. And Shaco is not in any... Actually, both of these junglers not really in any shape to take this. Goofer Games up in the top lane, even in the odds there. Now only down 1 turret is his team. Shaco may look for a steal here. Not going to jump into the pit. Not going to find anything there. Ocean Drake going over to that Vi. And the down south Kangaroos. Now, Vi being 5-2-4 with 30 CS on that Shaco is very, very far ahead. It looks like she's itemizing into the Triforce, which is typically what you'll do on Vi if you are ahead. But that ultimately may come back to bite them in the butt here, because this Garen is also just kind of building damage. He's getting a little bit of health with the Asterix and the Black Cleaver, but not really building any armor, not really respecting what may come of the late game if we get that far. Although it is hard to kind of predict it to go to late game when you are up 5,000 gold. Now we see a 2v2, a 3v2 in the top lane. River, a lot of damage coming out to that Morgana. One more auto attack will do it. Baron Nashor is live, and Morgana is not. Now 4 members of both teams hovering around this Baron Nashor. Shaco not going to make the deceive over the wall. He will be caught out by this the sweeper. But they are just going to go for the clone there, which allows Shaco and the rest of the Wild West Wombats to get out of dodge. And on the bottom side of the map, Kaisa takes a turret for the team, evening the odds 2-2, which will quickly be 2-3 on the top side of this map. But Kaisa now trying to just farm up and get herself back into this game. Again, working towards that Gwinsu's Rage Blade. Just farming up these side lanes. And now a 2v1 on the top side. Renekton and Veigar not going to be able to find the kill onto Garen. And while all of that is going on, another kill. Or another turret going down in the mid lane. That is a tier 2 mid, which opens up this map tremendously. But now we see Kaisa with the teleport in the top lane. Uses the killer instinct to try and get away. She's trying to kite back away from this Garen. Demacia and Justice coming out, but not going to find the damage. A lot of damage traded back in the ultimate from Veigar, picking up that kill onto that Garen. Veigar is rampaging now in this game. He's at 165 stacks, working towards that Zhonya's to keep himself safe against the heavy AD team that is the Down South Kangaroos. Kaisa used that teleport, and Garen knew she's on the top side of the map, but didn't respect it at all. They had vision of Kaisa walking up into that river, but Garen thought he had enough to go down and get the kill, but walked himself right into a 3v1, and Veigar picks up another one for himself, and now has that completed Zhonya's. As well as the Sork shoes, this Veigar is going to be absolutely huge. And while we're talking about the itemization, we now see the completed Duskblade on that Shaco. He is behind 2 levels on that Vi, with the same level as that Caitlyn. And with the Ignite, if he's able to get the backstabs, if he's able to use a Jack in the Box, make sure he's getting the crits, drop the Ignite, he's going to delete that carry, and that's going to be a 500 gold shutdown for him. So they definitely have to be careful, and they have to start respecting this Veigar, or this Shaco, now that he's got the Duskblade. Now the top laner's going toe-to-toe again in the mid lane this time. A little bit of poke damage just going back and forth. Soraka should be able to heal that up, no problem. And now one thing to note, Kaisa does not have Flash in this team fight, and Caitlyn does. So if Vi is able to get back to the back line, Kaisa will have no real way except for the killer instinct to get herself away, which could put her in a troublesome spot. Whereas on the other side of things, Caitlyn should be able to keep herself safe with the 90 caliber net and that flash and heal. So we see red buff going over to that Kaisa, respecting that she is going to need to peel for herself the best she can. And red buff will probably give her the best chance to do it. Now Garen goes into the middle of 3. Garen is this game's honey badger. He does not care. And a lot of damage going on to that Vi. And Veigar picks that kill up. He is absolutely unstoppable. Now it's a 4v5. And the Wild West Wombats are looking for blood. The Soul Shackle coming out, but both members able to run away from that one. Veigar getting caught out by the depth charge. Now 3 members caught in the event horizon. Garen goes in, but he's stuck in the middle of 4. He picks up the ultimate with the Demacia and Justice onto Veigar. Meanwhile, Renekton in the back line looking for the damage onto the carries. He flashes away and gets a huge heal from that Soraka to stay alive. And overall, a 3-for-2 for the Wild West Wombats. A great fight. Renekton able to get in the back line and zone out 3 members of that fight, while Garen was fighting in the middle of 4. And at that point, it was just whose beefcake is better. And Renekton gets the better of that trade. And as I said, that Spear of Shojin keeps him very, very relevant in these fights, especially as we get later in the game. When he pops that ultimate, he's getting the cooldowns absolutely insane because of that itemization. And now a good trade going over to the Wild West Wombats. Renekton actually looking for more here. He says, "These are my wolves. Get out of my swamp." The spell immune comes out, so the Ruthless Predator not going to find the stun. Cole the Meek, but a Dark Binding should be enough for Morgana to get away. Meanwhile, another Ocean Drake going over to the Down South Kangaroos. Down South Kangaroos have a 4,000 gold lead. And they lost that fight. They need to be more careful. Garen, although tanky, may not be as tanky as he thinks, especially against this Kaisa now who has this hybrid penetration. There's no magic resistance except for a null magic mantle and a couple pairs of Merc Tread for this Kaisa and for this Veigar. That is not going to be enough when Veigar is hitting you with his ultimate, especially once he builds the Rabadon's Death Cap. And the hybrid damage coming from this Kai'Sa, again, just shredding through really anybody that steps up to her. Now we see some bushwhacking down on the bottom side of the map. Vi's looking to engage here onto the carry. She does find Shaco, but Shaco manages to get away with the deceiver. Nekton caught up in the middle of 4, but he's just so huge. Vigar gets a shutdown onto Caitlyn, and Vi surely will follow. Yes, she does. The Demacian Justice doesn't have enough damage, but they do pick up the kill onto Renekton anyways. Vigar and Renekton now dead. These are 2 big members on this team. Garen going deep underneath this turret, trying to find Kai'Sa, but Kai'Sa able to walk away from this one. Shaco coming back into this fight, gets the backstab, gets the tie-in at proc. Onto Morgana. She has to flash away here, so now no flash from Morgana for the next 5 minutes. That's going to make her ultimate be very hard to land in these team fights. And a 2 for 2. Now, when you're down 4,000, 5,000 gold, and you're coming out with even trades, that's actually a win for you. Especially now that you're seeing the scaling come out, and Vigar's absolutely deleting anybody that he targets. He's only going to get bigger as this game goes on. If we take a look, he's at 206 stacks with the 2 needlessly large rods working toward that Rabadon's death cap. And right now, the down south Kangaroos have to find a way to start to grow their gold lead and look at how they're going to close out this game. Now, Shaco able to get the big chicken and walk away from that one with the deceive, that sneaky, sneaky clown. Baron is live. And the Wild West Kangaroos, or the Wild West Wombats, do have a Mountain Drake, and they do have a Kai'Sa. Renekton as well. Pretty solid in that Baron pit. Vigar just putting down pressure and damage. And it makes it really hard for the down south Kangaroos to get into. Oh, we actually see Caitlyn getting caught out here now, just absolutely deleted by that Vigar, and that's exactly what I was talking about. Now Morgana with the Soul Shackles onto 1, but it's not going to be enough. The Ignite from Nautilus coming out onto that Shaco, but 3 are going to be dead on the side of the down south Kangaroos. Now Renekton wants more. He picks up a double kill, but he's looking for a triple. He has the Dominus, and he is underneath the turret, but he's just going to walk away from that one, and Baron is live, and the pings are coming out. Now, just as I was saying, Vigar actually getting caught out here. A lot of damage coming back onto that Vi. A few more autos from the Kai'Sa should do it. She does have the killer instinct, but she's not going to use it here. And it looks like they maybe just want this tier 1 mid. But Baron is in the back of their minds. Now, Vi stepping forward. Again, very low here. She has to be careful. The turret goes down. The stun coming out from Renekton, and he picks up an unofficial triple. Caitlyn is now live, but Vi is dead for 40 seconds. And the Wild West Wombats have Baron on their mind. And this is going to be a very hard, not only is it not a 50-50 because they don't have Smite, but Vigar and his Event Horizon do so much to zone this team out. He's so scary. If you walk into that Vigar, you may just get deleted. Now we see Baron getting deleted as I speak of it. 2,000 health. Here comes the Smite out from Soraka. The Smite is missed, but Soraka manages to pick up the kill, and Kai'Sa gets one onto that Garen. Vigar had to take his leave at the beginning of that fight for the Rabadon's death cap, but he was able to teleport back in. Now 5 members alive with Baron. And the gold lead swings to the side of the Wild West Wombats after, again, like I said, another fight where they played it so well. This Renekton was so huge in these team fights. Kai'Sa just standing on the outside, auto-attacking, using the Acathian Rain, able to move around with the supercharge. And while all that's happening, Vigar just walks up. He picks anybody. He's drawing straws here. Whoever he sees, they are going to die, immediately making it a 4v5. And I can't stress it enough. It only gets worse as the game goes on. Now Kai'Sa picking up a red buff for herself. Going to be able to kite in these team fights. Try and stop some of that damage coming out. Maybe from Garen trying to run back line. Mountain Dragon going to be live here. Vi's on the top side of the map, and Garen is coming out of the base. This should be an easy pickup. Just like this kill, the flash heal having to be used there for Caitlyn to get out. Traded a flash heal for just the killer instinct from that Kai'Sa. And now Caitlyn has to be very, very careful in these fights. Shaco looking for something here. Shaco and Soraka on the front line. Vi with the Vault Breaker, maybe trying to find a way back into this fight. She looks for Soraka here, gets an auto attack down, but Renekton is that beefcake front line. Garen in the middle of 5. A lot of damage coming out, and the Demacian Justice going to pick up the kill onto Renekton. Vi having to walk away from this one. The Redemption doing a little bit of damage and keeping blue team alive here. Now Nautilus goes back in. But Shaco caught in the middle of 3, going to go down there. This is a very scary fight here. Kaisa actually gets pulled in from the dredge line. The ultimate from Nautilus, or the ultimate from Vygar, not going to be enough to pick up Garen, but they do manage to get it outside of that. And a 3v3. So when you take a look at it now, with the gold being so close, it's 3 turrets to 4. It's 22 kills to 24. We're only 100, 200, 300 gold apart. And these fights are so even. And that right there just shows you how even this game actually is. Vi goes in with the flash and the Vault Breaker on to the Soraka. Manages to pick that up. Now a lot of damage coming out from Vygar. Traded back is Vi. And Vygar absolutely unstoppable. 11, 3, and 5 with a 600 gold bounty on his head. A little bit of a sloppy fight there. I wish I had a replay tool so we could play it back and just watch it. Vi goes in, just a little dangerous. Renekton goes in a little dangerous. Shaco again, really, it just 2 times members were caught out in the middle of too many members and not able to keep themselves alive. But fortunately, Soraka, Kaisa, and Vygar in that fight were able to kind of kite back and try and make plays for their team. Trade a few kills, and ultimately it was just a 3v3, or a 3 for 3. But when I talk about the game being even, obviously we can see that it's even, right? We can see that it's even in gold, we can see that it's even in kills, and we can see that it's even in turrets. We can take a look at the CS and see where we're at, but I don't necessarily mean even in that regard. What I mean is the way that these teams are playing, and the skill behind these players is just so evenly matched that when you even the odds across the board, the fights are coming out 3 for 3, 2 for 2. Nope, there's no real one-decided team fight just yet, which makes this such a good game. Now we see Kaisa getting chunked out here. A lot of damage is going to follow, and a Piltover Peacemaker will pick up the kill, but Vygar trades 1 back. Now 2 dead on the side of the Wild West Wombats. Nautilus having to run away from this one. Dominus keeping Renekton alive here. Ace in the hole, not going to find a kill, and Vygar picks one up on to the Garen. Now Morgana surely will fall. She has to try and walk away from this one. The headshot coming out onto the Soraka, and again, a 2 for 2 fight in such an even game that these players are playing so well. And I think what's happening is nobody's trying to overextend. They're trying to play within their boundaries. Nobody wants to make the mistake or overextend or try and do too much and cost their team the game, especially in such a back and forth game like this one. One thing that I will harp on is Renekton. He has the Spear Shojin. He has that Black Cleaver, but he also has the Dead Man's Plate, which makes him tanky against this mostly AD team. Whereas Garen, on the other side of things, he didn't build that way. He didn't itemize that way. He built a Death's Dance trying to get some lifesteal, which just makes him the squishier frontline in these fights. Bear Nasher spawning in just under a minute. And both of these teams need to be careful. Shaco 0, 6, and 13. Not able to do much so far for himself. But right now, that smite is so very important with this second Baron coming up. Vygar with the Event Horizon trying to catch out this Caitlyn. Not able to do so. But like I said, Vygar, whoever he wants, he will get. Vi uses the Vault Breaker to close, or to keep distance away from this team. There's a lot of CC on the side of the Wild West Wombats. We'll have to see how this plays out. The Vault Breaker again going to be used, but not to engage here. All 5 members of each team down this mid lane here. The Event Horizon caught out Garen. Garen stuck in the middle of this. A lot of damage coming out. Vi goes in onto the Renekton. Renekton able to slice and dice away, but Garen wants more. He goes in with the decisive strike. Here comes the Dominus. The ultimate coming out, but the ace in the hole not going to be enough to kill Vygar, and Vygar picks up the kill onto Vi. Now Shaco in the middle of 4 members, but doing everything he can. He picks up the kill on the Caitlyn. Nautilus trades one back onto that Shaco. Kaisa and Renekton are going nuclear in this fight, and that's going to be an ace, a 4 for 1 for the Wild West Wombat, and this may just be the game here. 35 seconds on this Caitlyn. They've got a minion wave. They've got Renekton. They need this Kaisa to come up the mid lane and help him push it down. but this could be the game here after being down all game. Inhibitor turret going down. The inhibitor surely will follow, and Vigar absolutely smacks these turrets down. Just his auto attacks do so much damage. One Nexus turret going down. The second one going to follow. Caitlyn up in 5 seconds, but it might not be enough. 3 members is all it's going to take to finish this game. Kai'Sa teleports in, but the Wild West Wombats taking game 2 in a very, very decisive comeback fashion. GG's to the Wild West Wombats.